You know, it'd be a lot easier to drive on a football field during the game. I mean, think about it. It's harder to tackle you can bowl over defenders with ease, and it's not even against the NFL rulebook. You don't even have to be that athletic. Bill Belichick wishes he had my thought process. But the league's still stuck in the past, just using their legs, so let's show them why they need this. Adrian Killens Jr. is currently the NFL leader in having a negative impact on the game. Killens was a few years removed from a championship at UCF. He put up 2,459 yards in school, so there was no reason to think he'd lose 12 yards in a tragic O-line accident. That one rush for negative 12 yards was in week 4, and head coach Doug Peterson decided, yep, you're not touching the ball for the rest of the season. Now, as a team, the Lions are quite bad at everything, but rushing in particular stands out as a weak point. They have the worst team performance in a single game, rushing for negative 53 yards against the Chicago Cardinals in 1943, and they won. The Lions own 4 of the 10 worst ever rushing performances, all against the Cardinals. Justice was served in the fact that they lost the other 3. Their 5th worst rushing performance was also against the Cardinals. Now, I'm not saying that God plays favorites, but in the Bible he does frequently shut the mouths of lions. Also, Cardinals. In these 5 games against the Cardinals, the Lions rushed for a combined negative 112 yards. That 5th game ended in a 0-0 tie, and the fact that that game didn't kill off football as we know it today is nothing short of a miracle. In the 16-game era, the worst single-season rushing performance was by the San Diego Chargers. Who was the architect behind this season? Well, it was offensive coordinator Jeep Christ, who was 3 letters away from being 2 cars. And you know a Charger is also a kind of car. Are they trying to tell us? They had this idea too! The Chargers rushed for a total of 1,062 yards on the season. For context, there was only a 9-game season in 1982, and 13 teams outrushed the Chargers' 2000 season. I would love to show you the second worst rushing season for context, but I can't! $8 a month for stats? Hulu is 6! That miserable season for the Chargers included 1 win by only 1 point. That's tough, but the year after that, the Chargers got LaDainian Tomlinson and Drew Brees, which, as you can imagine, solved the running game issues. I'm sure they'll set the league on fire together. At the very least, the Chargers gained yards for that entire season, something that Reggie Bush was unable to do in all of 2016. The Bills that year had LaShawn McCoy, who had plenty of gas left in the tank. I'm telling ya! Anyway, he put up a great season. Reggie Bush was running on empty and put up negative 3 yards on 12 carries. And a touchdown. The previous year in San Francisco, he had 28 yards on 8 rushes, but the Bills got the touchdown, so who really won here? Well, now it's time to have a midlife crisis and go back to college. Here, the worst rushing game in Division I belongs to Syracuse, who rushed for negative 107 yards against Penn State in 1947. The Orange were shut out 0-40 for Penn State's homecoming. How nice of them. 3 years earlier, NC State played against Virginia and only had 10 rushing yards. But the 40s were barbaric times, so NC State ended up winning 13-0. On the same day, Canadian forces retook Calais from Germany, gaining significantly more yards than NC State in the process. Unrelated, but did you know that there are 3 divisions in college football? Man, I wonder what the second one was up to 7 years ago. What, you think I'm mad? Incredulous? No. This just doesn't exist. It couldn't have happened. There's no way that a team just ran the entire length of the field, end zones included, backwards in one game. And there's also no way that there were 36 rushing attempts. If that's the case, you're rushing by faith and not by sight. Gonna credit my dad for that joke? Unfortunately, it seems that rushing woes are still a plague in the 21st century, especially in college. One of my favorite stat lines was put up by Central Michigan quarterback Grant Arnoldink. He put up 0 yards on 19 rushes in his 3 seasons, ensuring that he did absolutely nothing in the running game. The all-time worst record for rushing yards goes to Oregon State quarterback Sean Mannion, who, from 2011 to 2014, rushed for negative 804 yards and 2 touchdowns. I wish that was as hilarious as it sounds, but here the official stats are keeping track of yards lost from sacks. In the NFL, Mannion added another negative 17 yards to his illustrious career. Fellow Oregon State alumni Derrick Anderson has the second most least yards rushing, at only a moderate negative 533. He, however, had 8 touchdowns. Currently it's 2021, the 20-year anniversary of Anderson's career, and the 10-year anniversary of Mannion's. To either Sam Vidlac or Ben Gilbranson, good luck. You have big shoes to fill. So what have we learned? Nothing. You can put up a negative 53-yard game and still win. You can put up a negative 533-yard career and still get drafted. And I still haven't forgiven Marlon McCree. So, how can we make the running game matter again?